I need you to stop what you're doing right now, because chances are you are actively harming your eyesight. You're likely following four of the oldest, most common pieces of eye health advice. Advice that is not just outdated, but dangerously incomplete. The consequence? The silent, progressive loss of the crisp, sharp vision that defines your independence. It is the path toward expensive surgeries and the debilitating fear of diseases like macular degeneration. For decades, we've been told that vision loss is simply a fact of aging, but I'm here to tell you that this thesis is dangerously incomplete. Vision loss is not merely a genetic lottery or a simple clock running down. It is, at its core, a metabolic disease that you have the power to control. If you are over 60 or approaching it, your eye health strategy needs a complete overhaul starting today. In the next 20 minutes, I will expose the four most dangerous eye myths that are distracting you from the real solutions. I will provide you with the four precise, science-backed actions, the four pillars of longevity vision, to protect your retina and secure your clear sight for decades to come. This is your new vision strategy. Let's begin. The nutritional trap and the lutein system. Our journey starts with the most widespread and harmless-sounding lie, the carrots myth. For generations, we were told to eat carrots for better night vision. We pictured Bugs Bunny munching his way to perfect sight. The myth is based on a tiny piece of truth that no longer addresses the central threat to your vision. Carrots contain beta-carotene, which the body can convert into vitamin A. Vitamin A is indeed essential for the retina's photoreceptor cells, particularly for low-light vision, known as rhodopsin regeneration. But here is the scientific fact you must internalize. If you are over 60, the primary threat to your vision is not vitamin A deficiency. It is the cumulative oxidative damage occurring in your macula. The macula is the small central part of the retina responsible for all sharp, detailed central vision, reading, recognizing faces, driving, and thread-the-needle precision. When the macula degrades, your quality of life degrades with it, and carrots are virtually useless at protecting this most critical area. The real nutritional shield for the macula is built by two powerful carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin. These are the only two dietary carotenoids that specifically accumulate in the macula, forming the protective macular pigment. Think of this pigment as your eye's internal sunglasses, a precision-tuned filter designed to absorb and neutralize high-energy blue light before it can damage the delicate retinal cells. A high macular pigment density is directly correlated with a lower lifetime risk of developing age-related macular degeneration. The landmark AREDS2 study, the gold standard of eye research from the National Eye Institute, conclusively proved that supplementing with lutein and zeaxanthin can slow the progression of macula-based diseases. Carrots, unfortunately, contain negligible amounts of these macula-critical compounds, prioritizing the wrong type of carotenoid. You need a targeted nutritional defense system that is designed by science, not folklore. This brings us to Action 1, the fat-soluble lutein hack. Your first precise action is to dramatically increase your intake of lutein and zeaxanthin. The best sources are not orange, they are deep, dark green. We are talking about collard greens, spinach, and kale. 1 cup of cooked spinach contains up to 10 times the lutein of a single carrot, but simply eating them is not enough. Here is the critical hack that nearly everyone misses. Lutein and zeaxanthin are fat-soluble. This means they cannot be properly absorbed by your body, specifically through the gut, unless they are consumed simultaneously with dietary fat. So, adding a fistful of raw spinach to a fat-free dry salad will give you minimal bioavailability. You are wasting the nutrients. The solution is simple and delicious, designed for maximum absorption. Always consume your lutein and zeaxanthin rich foods with a healthy source of fat. This could be a light drizzle of high-quality extra virgin olive oil over your cooked greens. It could be a few slices of avocado alongside your morning omelet. It could even be combining them with the yolk of an egg, which is itself a rich source of lutein. By combining the macula-protecting nutrients with a fat source, you are exponentially boosting their bioavailability, the rate at which they enter your bloodstream and reach the macula. This is precision nutrition that turns mere consumption into active protection, measurable by an MPOD, macular pigment optical density test. This test can objectively show you how strong your internal shield is becoming. The metabolic predator. Now we move to the second and arguably most dangerous myth, the one rooted in resignation. The dangerous myth that says eye blurriness and vision decline are just inevitable side effects of getting older. This lie is based on passive acceptance, and it prevents millions from taking life-saving preventative action. I will tell you the uncomfortable truth, confirmed by longevity science. Your worst enemy for vision health after 50 is not the sun, not your computer screen, and not even the passage of time. It is metabolic dysfunction. It is the silent, pervasive damage caused by uncontrolled blood sugar and chronic systemic inflammation, which is devastating the delicate structures of your eye. Here are the facts. Diabetic retinopathy, a condition where high blood sugar damages the microvessels supplying the retina, is the leading cause of blindness in working-age adults. But you absolutely do not need to be diagnosed with full-blown diabetes to be at high risk. Any level of insulin resistance or consistently high blood sugar spikes after meals accelerates the aging and decay of your eyes. The mechanism is clear and brutal. Excess glucose in the bloodstream reacts with proteins, forming toxic compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These AGEs accumulate in the lens of the eye, accelerating the clouding that leads to cataracts. They also damage the microvasculature, the tiny blood vessels that feed the delicate cells of the retina, which are incredibly sensitive to glucose and inflammation. When sugar levels spike repeatedly, these microvessels become damaged, starved of oxygen, and eventually break down. Your macula simply cannot function without a clean, consistent blood supply and proper waste removal. Furthermore, chronic inflammation, often driven by poor diet, acts like a slow-burn acid on the support structure of the eye. It accelerates the formation of drusen, the small yellow deposits under the retina that are the earliest clinical sign of age-related macular degeneration. This realization leads directly to action 2. The metabolic shield. If you want truly robust vision, you must treat your eyes as an extension of your overall metabolic health. The key here is twofold. Stabilize blood sugar and combat inflammation at a systemic level. For anti-inflammation, there is no better defense than high-quality omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These are essential fats, meaning your body cannot produce them, and they are foundational to the fluidity and function of every retinal cell membrane. DHA, in particular, is a major structural component of your macula, critical for the electrical signals that create sight. Studies show that adequate omega-3 intake helps reduce inflammation throughout the body, directly protecting those sensitive microvessels from metabolic damage. It also significantly benefits those suffering from dry eye syndrome by improving the quality of the tear film, reducing the reliance on artificial tears. Your metabolic shield also includes ruthlessly avoiding the primary drivers of inflammation: industrial seed oils, processed sugars, and refined carbohydrates that cause those destructive rapid blood sugar spikes. Your clear vision future depends on a stable, calm, and well-nourished metabolic environment inside your body. The digital myths and neuro-reset. The third myth is a modern one, fueled by mass marketing and misinformation. Blue light from your screen is the single most dangerous enemy to your eyes. I need to put this myth into its proper context. While excessive blue light exposure, particularly in the evening, can interfere with your sleep and vital circadian rhythm, the true, invisible, and far more powerful threat is something far older: ultraviolet or UV radiation. The American Academy of Ophthalmology confirms that UV exposure is the primary culprit in accelerating the most common forms of eye damage. This includes the development of cataracts, the clouding of the lens, and pterygium, a common growth on the eye surface. The danger of blue light is less about your computer screen during the day and much more about the sun itself. A major mistake occurs when people buy cheap sunglasses. They often only look at the color of the lens, thinking darker means safer. This is a disastrous error. Dark lenses without proper UV filtration actually cause your pupil to dilate widely, letting in more unfiltered UV light than if you wore no sunglasses at all, leading to exponentially greater damage. This leads to Action 3. The UV 400 Daily Shield. Your precise action: every pair of sunglasses you own, regardless of the price, must carry the official UV 400 certification label. UV 400 means the lens blocks 99.9% of both UVA and UVB rays. You must wear them every single day, regardless of cloud cover, because UV radiation penetrates clouds easily. This is non-negotiable, foundational vision protection that protects the lens from cataracts. Now, let's address the fourth myth. Eye exercises can correct long-term vision problems or prescription changes. For most adults over 50, the isometric exercises found online are simply ineffective for core vision issues caused by aging. When your eyes feel tired, blurry, or strained after a day of reading or computer work, the problem isn't weak muscles that need lifting. The problem is a state of ciliary muscle spasm triggered by sustained unblinking focus, which sends a stress signal through your nervous system, locking your focus. You aren't suffering from a lack of exercise, you are suffering from a lack of neuro-reset. This requires a strategy focused on deep, intentional relaxation, not further strain. This brings us to Action 4. The Neuro-Reset Practice. The simple practice is the familiar 20-20-20 rule, but with a critical, advanced addition that harnesses the nervous system. Every 20 minutes of focused work, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. But here is the Neuro-Reset addition that changes everything. When you look away, deliberately blink 10 times, slowly and mindfully. Conscious, complete blinking does three things simultaneously. First, it forces the ciliary muscle to briefly relax, breaking the focal lock. Second, it completely relubricates the eye, resetting the tear film and preventing dry eye. Third, and most importantly, the deliberate action of blinking interrupts the sympathetic fight-or-flight stress response, activating the parasympathetic nervous system for deep ocular relaxation. It is a micro-meditation for your eyes. Do not skip the slow blinking. It is the key to true lasting eye strain relief and stress reduction. The overnight repair system. We have covered the 4 myths and 4 foundational actions. But there is one final, non-negotiable element to your longevity vision strategy that happens every night: the overnight repair system. Your eyes do not just passively rest when you sleep, they enter an intensive repair cycle designed to cleanse and rebuild cellular structure. This is the critical time when the damaging free radicals and debris accumulated during the day, the toxic waste product of light and UV exposure, are cleared out. The cellular repair process in your retina is heavily reliant on two key hormones produced during deep sleep: melatonin and growth hormone. Melatonin is arguably the most powerful, naturally produced antioxidant for your eyes. It neutralizes those free radicals in the retina that cause aging and cellular breakdown, specifically protecting the retinal pigment epithelium. When you stay up late, bathed in artificial light, disrupting your natural circadian rhythm, you actively and severely suppress the release of melatonin. You are essentially firing your eye's nightly cleaning and repair crew. Chronic sleep deprivation causes measurable oxidative stress in the eye, accelerating conditions like macular degeneration and potentially increasing intraocular pressure. Your action here is not a complex one, but a foundational one that costs nothing. Treat sleep as a non-negotiable vision protocol. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of high-quality, continuous sleep. Implement a strict digital sunset rule, cutting off screens and bright lights at least 90 minutes before your desired bedtime to allow natural melatonin production to begin. Ensure your bedroom is completely dark to maximize that crucial melatonin release. This simple act of prioritizing sleep is arguably more effective for long-term eye health than any supplement or expensive treatment you can buy. You are giving your eyes the dedicated, uninterrupted cellular repair time they desperately need to fight back against the daily wear and tear of light and metabolism. Conclusion: Longevity Vision Strategy. Let us summarize the 4 pillars of a modern, scientifically sound longevity vision strategy. 1. Abandon the carrots myth and embrace the Lutein precision system. Consume Lutein and Zeaxanthin with healthy fats daily to reinforce your macular pigment shield, your internal sunglasses. 2. Recognize that vision loss is a metabolic disease and implement the metabolic shield. Control your blood sugar and ensure adequate intake of anti-inflammatory omega-3s to protect your vital microvasculature. 3. Stop panicking about computer light and respect the UV 400 Daily Shield. Always wear sunglasses certified UV 400 to block the true retinal threat from the sun's UVA and UVB rays. 4. Replace useless eye exercises with the Neuro-Reset Practice. Use the 20-20-20 rule combined with conscious, slow blinking to calm the nervous system and relieve muscular strain. These 4 actions collectively shift your strategy from passively aging to actively protecting and regenerating your vision. It is about taking back control of your independence and securing your sharp sight for decades to come. Now, I want to hear from you. What is the one piece of vision advice you grew up with that you now realize was completely wrong? Share your eye myth story below, and let's start a real conversation about modern eye care. If you understand that your eyesight fundamentally depends on metabolic health, and you want to know the exact foods and lifestyle changes that stabilize your blood sugar to save your vision, and the 3 most inflammatory foods you must eliminate immediately, then I have already prepared the next step for you. Click on the video on your screen right now. The scientific reason your blood sugar is ruining your vision. Simple lifestyle fixes. Let's continue building your longevity health together. Medical disclaimer. This content is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition.